Hello, everybody, and welcome to PublishDrive Author Hour. So today, you might notice I have a little bit of a different background. That is because I'm on vacation, and I am recording all of this ahead of time. So this week's episode, you aren't getting live. It is pre-recorded, but feel free to post your questions or comments in the chat and leave us some comments. And what we'll do is when I get back from vacation, we will go ahead and share answers as well as address any topics that might have come up for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Danica Favorite. I am the community manager at PublishDrive. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I think a lot of you will find useful. And that topic is, how do you upload your book for print? So some of ebooks I've talked a lot about in some of our previous episodes, that having your book in multiple formats is a great way to extend your income, expand your IP without having to do any additional work or anything like that. So it's a really simple way, without having to write another book, to getting your work out there in front of a larger audience. And so what you should see now is the PublishDrive homepage. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to click in Sign In. So for those of you who have not signed in recently, or maybe you haven't selected, what you're going to see is the screen that says, which of our services would you like to explore? Distribution, publishing assistance, or abacus. There's a little checkbox here to make selected service your default choice, so that if there's one service that you use all the time and you don't want to have to switch back and forth, you could just choose it and then make that selection the default. Personally, since I use my PublishDrive account for all of the above, I'm just going to select distribution here. So boom, here we are. We're in distribution. And this is what your dashboard looks like. And as I have mentioned in previous episodes, this is my actual personal dashboard. So everything that I'm doing here, I'm actually doing live for my own book. So we'll first of all go right here to go to my books. And we're going to click on that. So we're going to go right here to book upload, and I'm going to click on that book button. And what you'll see is upload ebook, upload paperback, upload audio, or bulk upload. And bulk upload, for those of you who don't know, if you're someone who has a lot of books, we do have this option for certain paid plans to do a bulk upload. Today's task is we're going to upload our paperback print. So I'm going to click here. And here we go. It says drag and drop or click to browse. So I am going to go ahead and click to browse to upload from my own computer. Okay, so I have uploaded it, and once it uploads, it automatically takes you to this page. And so the first thing you want to do is look at the correct trim size. One thing I do want to tell you, as someone who has made this mistake and fought with it for quite some time because it didn't work, is make sure you're getting the correct trim size. Now, I have already gone ahead and chosen the trim size. I had a cover designer design my print cover, and so I went ahead, and this is the size. We use 5.25 by 8. Binding is paperback. Cover laminate, I prefer glossy. Interior cover, black and white. Unless you have a reason for having a color interior, I would say go ahead and choose black and white, because that will keep your print costs down. And then, of course, paper color, I'm going with white. And then page number location, you do not have to have a page number in your book in order to get this. In fact, it's preferred that you don't do it and you let the system automatically do it. So page number location, I prefer bottom center. And then if you click here on this button, update print preview, I highly recommend, please do not skip this step. Make sure that you go ahead and look at the print preview. And the reason I say this is because so many people end up with formatting mistakes that they don't realize are there. And this print preview is going to show you exactly what's there. I've had some instances where I have looked at it and then noticed that, oops, there's some kind of formatting error in my manuscript that I didn't notice because I didn't take the moment to go through this step. And so we can see there's my title page, my copyright page, all the other front matter that I have. And then finally, we go in and we see chapter 1. Again, please make sure you go through every single one of these pages to make sure that everything looks correct. There's chapter 2. And the reason I say that is because sometimes your page breaks don't show up correctly. And so then, for example, maybe chapter 3 would start here. And for me, that's not a great reading experience for my readers. And so knowing that that error is there, then I can go back and fix it before it goes to print, because the last thing you want is a book that goes to print and it has printing errors and pagination errors that make it so it's not as wonderful for people to just sit and read your book. And so there we are, just again, scrolling through, making sure everything looks okay. I'm not necessarily proofing at this point because I've already done the proofreading. I'm really just looking to make sure that everything looks the way I want it to look. And so it looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and say accept print version. And we're going to take a few minutes to let that upload. Here it says, here's a handy little thing. When uploading your print ready PDF file, if you're looking for the requirements for the print on demand, there is a handy little thing to click on right here to go ahead and look at the full list of print requirements. I highly recommend, if you haven't done this, just take a few minutes to do something like that, because it really does make your job easier and it makes everything go as smoothly as possible. Now, let's just pretend you don't have a print book cover image. We do have a tool here that you can click Create Now, and you can create your own print version if all you have is your ebook version. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and leave some comments for us, and we can do that in another episode. In my case, since I already do have a cover and I had a cover designer create that for me, I don't need this. So I'm just going to go ahead and click to browse. Okay, and so now we have my print cover uploaded. This button includes acknowledgement of exclusive copyright file. If you have been asked in the past by our team to provide a file of exclusive copyright, go ahead and click this, and then it will give you, so if you do this, if we need to verify your rights and you have that file, you just browse and upload there. I don't need this, so I'm going to just go ahead and uncheck that. And this is if you want to be specific to the store and have a more specific to the store cover file, you can do that, and you can upload specifically for each store, or PublishDrive can automatically scale up or down the spine width to make that work. I'm going to go ahead and let PublishDrive automatically do that. I did not have something made for each store, so we're just going to allow that to be what it is. And then add author, which is me, of course. And then metadata. Remember, you had to fill this out for your other book. Subtitle does not have a subtitle. I'm not going to add it at this point. I just need to remember that for future books. It wasn't something I was really thinking of when I did it. And so series name. And then language, English. Has your book contain any other language? And that answer is no, it does not have that. And then ISBN. So one thing that you need to know is that for print, you do need to have an ISBN number. We don't provide that. And this is a handy little file that I just have with all the information that I knew I would need so that I could get it for you quickly. So grab my ISBN number and put that in there. And then book description. Again, this is something that I had handy. For those of you who don't have a book description, what you should do is make sure you have a good book description. And if you don't have a good book description, you can always use the PublishDrive metadata generator to create a book description for your book. And that is also something we can talk about in a future video. Once again, please let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. But basically what we can do with the metadata generator is it can help you use something, create something that is optimized for Amazon. And so now we have the BISAC categories, which again, if you don't know what BISAC categories to use, you can always use our metadata generator to help you choose them. So this is fiction. And why are BISAC categories important? And it's romance. And the reason it's so important is that this helps the bookstore know and the retailer know where to categorize it. So this is holiday romance. It's also contemporary. And then for my third and final, we'll go back to clean and wholesome. And those are my three categories. So my three categories are in order of importance: holiday fiction romance, contemporary fiction romance, and clean and wholesome fiction romance. And so this is how it categorizes the books to let it know where to put the books. And so those are the three that fit my book the best. Does your book contain adult content? No, so I can leave this unchecked. Target audience, general, but as you can see, here are some other options if you don't know where to target it. Keywords, again, this is somewhere that you can use our metadata generator to help you find the correct keywords for your book. Our metadata generator, which is in our publishing assistant, it actually compares your book to what is selling on Amazon to give you the best keywords possible. And once again, I already pre-did this. So we will come up here and in this little notepad that I have all of my relevant pieces of information, you're just going to go through and put in your keywords. I did small town Christmas romance, cozy holiday romance, sweet Christmas romance. Can you tell what kind of book I have? But it's really important because that audience actually really loves these books. And this is something that a lot of romance readers are searching for. And so it's really good that I have all of my books categorized this way. And this is what is selling. I wish, and I say this because there is seriously no way of doing this for now, but I really wish I could tell for certain which one of these keywords does the best, because I love this family-centered Christmas romance one. My gut instinct tells me that that one is going to do really well, but also the Christmas bookstore romance keyword I think is also going to be a really good one. And all of this, again, is based on popular Amazon search terms. What are people looking for right now? And how my book compares to that. And so here I am, maximum number of keywords. So price, I'm going to price this at $9.99. And then I'm going to click this pretty price for all, because what it will do is it converts in the currency to make this more appropriate for the various countries. So copyrights, select copyrights. I wrote this book. I've secured the rights. This is public domain. I wrote this book. Publication date is today. And then distribution. Which stores would you like to distribute the book to? I'm going to go ahead and enable all of the stores, because this is where I want to distribute them. And boom, I have completed the entire form. Now I will click publish. And here is something that is really good to know. So I am choosing to publish to Ingram. Ingram is free for 1 year on PublishDrive. However, the Ingram does require a $10 annual registration fee per book upload. PublishDrive provides the first year for free, and then after the first year, the $10 fee renews automatically unless you disable Ingram distribution and withdraw your book before the renewal date. And so this is just saying I accept the conditions, and boom, I went ahead and do it. And then this tells us how long it's going to take for our stores to be, for it to appear in stores. And so here's the congratulations page. Congratulations, you've published your book with PublishDrive. Here are the stores, and we're just waiting on the stores to approve. And as you can see, there's the pretty cover that my cover designer made. And here is where the stores will, this is how long it's going to take. And here is the other thing that I really think is super important that I encourage all of you to do. Help us improve. How easy was it to upload your book? Make sure you rate this so that our team knows what they need to improve. And so that's it. Pretty simple, pretty easy, right? So I really encourage all of you to go ahead and try it. Let me know what your experience is. And if you find that you've run into any issues, or you have questions, or you need something, please go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know how it went for you, what you would like to see improved, or what would make this a better experience for you. We are interested in doing whatever we can to make this as simple as possible for all of our customers. So thank you all for watching. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.